Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I know that you are new here because I am new to YouTube, so thanks for stopping by. My name is Amber and I'm a mom of 4. I cook, clean, do home DIYs, and I homeschool our kids. Today's video is jam-packed with cleaning motivation, so let's get into it. I'm starting out here in the dining area. It's an area I usually start because my 2 older kids do school at the table most days, and I like to have it clean for when they come down and start school. Since I'm new here, I figured I would jump on and tell you a little bit about myself. But I'm also excited to chat and to get to know you. I would love for you to introduce yourself in the comments below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What kind of stuff do you like to do? I would really like to find that sense of community, which is a pretty big reason why I started YouTube in the first place. Anyway, I am a stay-at-home mom of 4. I have been with my husband Kyle going on 14 years. Our oldest son Jackson is 14 years old. We have one daughter, her name is Aubrey, and she's 13 years old. And our 2 youngest boys, Lincoln and Theo, just turned 7 and 5. Our family is originally from the suburbs of Chicago, but we moved down here to a tiny town in northern Arkansas in the Ozark Mountain region about 3 years ago. We bought our house pretty quickly after we moved down here, and that was right about the time when the housing market started to get really crazy. It has its quirks and it definitely needs updated, so that's something that my husband and I have been working slowly on for the last few years, and it's just kind of making it our own. Now, I will be the first to say that we are 100% learning as we go, so don't judge me, but we find what works for us, and that's good enough. I do get a lot of questions about why we moved down here, and probably one of my biggest points would be the prices. In Chicago, it has just become insane. The taxes, the prices of housing has skyrocketed over the years. So when it came time for us to buy a home, this area made the most sense for us. I do have a lot of family in this area, so we have visited this area quite a bit of times over the years. But the move has been a pretty big adjustment for us. Where we used to live, we were right around the corner from everything. We had everything at our fingertips, and here we have to go about an hour for anything. There is a Walmart about 15 minutes from us, and we do have like a small local grocery store right in our town. And there's a couple, small things like medical offices, stuff like that. But for any major shopping, and I like to do my grocery shopping in larger areas, we have to travel about an hour to get anywhere. Which I guess that was also another reason we decided to move down here. I was tired of feeling like we were always on the go. It seemed like every day was crazy. There was always so much going on. And the thought of moving out to where there's not a lot going on seemed nicer, slower. It just seemed like something at the stage in our lives that we were looking for at the time. But it is hard sometimes making such a huge adjustment, and it's not something that we're used to by any means. I do want to add just a little bit of a disclaimer here. Without going into a lot of detail, we did lose our 5th child earlier this year. He was 13 months old, and Like I said, I'm not going to go into it today. I might on another video in another day, but currently it is something that our family's healing through. But I felt like it was worth mentioning in case I say something or you see something. There are pictures around our home and sentimental things, so I just wanted you to be aware. I am hoping that through gaining a sense of community through YouTube, that it will help me through this healing process though. But anyway, our family is adjusting to life down here in a more simple way of living, and it has been really great to have a lot of my family here for support. But yes, it's been a pretty big adjustment for us. It's actually kind of crazy how many things are different down here compared to up in Illinois. One of the biggest things is wintertime. Chicago area obviously gets a lot of snow. It was something that our family was used to. We lived up there. I lived up there almost my whole life, but you get used to the snow. You live your normal life. The snow doesn't stop it unless there's like a crazy amount, but everybody still goes to work. The kids still go to school. It's normal up there. You wake up early and you deal with the snow, which I hated having such a long winter. That was actually another reason I wanted to move south. It seemed like it carried on forever. I mean, it would be April there and we would still get a snowstorm. It was just excessive. I hated driving in the snow. I just hated dealing with it, especially for so long every single year. Anyway, that is not the case down here. It snows, but basically just like a dusting. One of the biggest things down here to worry about are the roads. Because we're in the mountain region, the roads are a lot of steep, winding hills, and the towns are so small that they don't really have the equipment to take care of the snow. Like our town only has one or two plows, and they only do the main roads. So our neighborhood isn't even drivable. Even with just a small amount of snow, it freezes on the roads. And down here, it doesn't even have to be snowing for them to call off school or work. There can be just a chance of like half an inch of snow and the entire town shuts down. Now, it is something that we look forward to because it only does happen like 2 to 3 times a year, maybe. And it's kind of like a kid's equivalent of a snow day. The streets freeze over, the town shuts down, and everyone just holes up in their houses for a few days. A big thing that everybody worries about down here is the freezing rain on the power lines or the trees that then fall on the power lines. Many people down here have like backup heating methods, and we have a large two-way fireplace, so during these storms, we use that for heat, and we also cook most of our family meals on it. But yeah, it's just funny because up in Illinois, everything carries on as normal, and down here, the slightest dusting shuts everything down. As you can see, I hate doing laundry. As for washing and drying, I can stay on top of it pretty well. Folding and actually putting away the clothes is a completely different story. And I don't think it's just because of the fact that we're a larger family. We have 4 kids. Yes, they have a lot of clothes. We have a lot of clothes. But I feel like I struggled more when I just had my older 2 kids. It was kind of like a blind spot. Like I avoided the laundry because the washer and dryer weren't right there. And it has helped since we moved here because the laundry is upstairs. It's right outside of my room, and I can stay on top of it significantly better than I used to be able to. But we still do often have multiple loads of clean clothes to sort and put away at a time. However, one thing I started doing over the last few months that has helped is I bought one of those collapsible baskets from TJ Maxx, and I got rid of all of our other laundry baskets. So it's forced me to go through and put away clothes because I can only really fit like 1 or 2 loads in the basket at a time. And in order to have a place for more laundry, it's forced me to always have to clear the basket first. Today I had, I think, 2 or 3 loads to do. I usually just separate and fold the clothes, and then my kids will all come and get them and put their own stuff away. They're all old enough where they can get their own stuff and put it where it belongs.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want to know. Secrets.
In case you're wondering, this did not turn out to be a good idea, so I recommend not doing what I'm doing here. I walked into our kitchen and I noticed that our garbage can smelled. Some of the stuff from the bag had leaked out, so I figured I would just wash the whole garbage can in the sink, and it ended up obviously being too big for the sink and spilling all over the place. I don't remember which kid was in the kitchen with me, but they were like, that's not a good idea. And I quickly realized that and just wiped it down super quick and threw it outside. So, one thing I hate about our house are the bathrooms. We have 3 bathrooms, and I believe that this one is the largest one. They're all tiny, none of them have windows. And it was actually something that I mentioned, like making larger when we were first looking into buying our house. But all the bathrooms are basically surrounded by other rooms, so they're not really even able to be renovated. We had started painting and updating this bathroom, but we didn't really get that far. That was during a time when we were dealing with our son's medical problems. So we painted the vanity, and that was about as far as we got. I do plan on coming back and finishing, like redoing the bathroom at some point, but it's been one of those projects that we just keep putting on the back burner. and we are moving on to another tiny bathroom. I cannot even get the camera in there. You have the worst shots. But this is our boys' bathroom, the main bathroom that guests use when they come over. It's tiny, but I'm getting it cleaned up, and it is what it is. We make it work. I recently got a bunch of these pictures online, and I bought frames for them at a local thrift store. They're kind of quirky, but I love all kinds of weird, quirky decor. You'll see it around my house. I love yoga animals, so my kids often will gift me yoga animals. And my daughter recently just gifted me this troll planter. It's so weird, but it's so cute. I love it. But yeah, I just started buying these fun pictures online. I have one I just got. It's in the dining area. It's like a Renaissance looking picture. There's all these people in Renaissance dresses and attire. They're like lounging around in a park. And there's spaceships, Renaissance spaceships. So they're pretty fancy looking, but they're abducting people. I just thought it was so funny because when you look at the picture, it just looks really pretty. You can't really tell like what's going on until you're actually looking at the picture. And then you're like, what is that? What is that? But I feel like that perfectly describes the decor that I like to get. You'll see that we have a family skeleton. I was gifted it for my birthday. And it's a Halloween decoration, but we have been like positioning him around our house and around our yard since July. We back up to a golf course and we're right on one of the holes. So we like to position him outside in different areas of our backyard and give the golfers a good laugh. I don't know if you noticed our cat following me around as I'm vacuuming. She does this with the mop too. We just recently got her in June, so she's still a baby, but my mom found her wandering around in her neighborhood. I think she was still too young to be away from her mom, but she was starving, like skin and bones. Her eyes were infected. I don't think she could see very well because of it, and she had gotten into some kind of glue. It had dried up in her fur and it was around her mouth. So we took her in, we got her better and healthy, and she's doing much better now. She's living her best life. She gets along really well with our Australian shepherds. She loves them, and they tolerate her, but it's still kind of new, I guess. At first, we had trouble finding a name for her because we really didn't think that we were going to be keeping her. We thought that we were going to be giving her to a family member, but my kids ended up falling in love with her and we ended up deciding to keep her. So for the longest time, she didn't really have a name. We were just kind of calling her Cat. She's very rambunctious, and how she looks when she plays, we decided that it reminds us a lot of Chuck Norris. So we just named her Cat Norris. But anyways, it's been nice having her, especially with our younger boys. One of their chores is to take care of the animals, so it's teaching them responsibility, having to take care of a small animal like her. I'm starting dinner now. I'm doing like a chicken taco bowl. If you've had birria tacos, it's pretty similar to that. So I boil the chicken in broth and with a ton of spices, and then some diced tomatoes for several hours. And then I take it off the bone, I shred it, and I put it back in the pot to simmer with the sauce. Tonight I'm serving it with veggies over rice, so I'm making the rice now.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow.
Here I'm making guacamole. It's not 100% authentic because I used a little bit of mayo and some powdered seasoning, but it's probably one of the best that I've ever had. It's better than a lot of the restaurants and the store-bought guacamole. I get a lot of compliments on it too. But I started by mashing up 3 to 4 avocados in a bowl. I don't really measure things around here. I measure with my heart, so about a dollop of mayo, and then add a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder. Again, measure with your heart. Add a little bit, taste it. If you want more, add more. I added about 1/4 of an onion diced, a couple diced tomatoes and jalapenos from the garden. I usually also add chopped cilantro and a squeeze of lime, but I didn't have any of those on hand and it turned out just fine. I also made a sauce to put on top of the taco bowls. I just did about half a cup of sour cream in a bowl, and I mixed in some of our favorite salsa, some hot sauce, and garlic powder. My family usually likes it pretty spicy, but again, measure with your heart. If you don't like it spicy, then add less or none at all. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope it gave you some of the motivation that you needed to get some things done around your house, or at least gave you a friend to hang out with. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.